Hey friends, we're back here today to complain about another super in PvP, but this one is a little bit more warranted. Now, first of all, I do apologize. We have to reuse some background footage here because Destiny 2 is down today, still at the time making this video. So we don't have any fresh gameplay footage, but basically the super we're talking about inside of PvP is Shadow Shot / Void Hunter's tether abilities. Now, of course, we're not talking about specifically Spectral Blades. Spectral Blades is pretty good as it is. It just has a really long cooldown, which kind of sucks. But, what are you going to do about it? But the tether itself is really, really bad in PvP. Now, I know that somebody's immediately going to jump in and say, oh, well, like, you know, like you can use it to shut down other supers and blah, 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 blah. And yes, it is niche in the fact that you can suppress other people out of super, but also you could use something like Thunder Crash, Blade Barrage, Nova Bomb. Like, you have a ton of options to shut other supers down. And if you're using Tether, like, it's kind of, you know, you shoot it, maybe you die, maybe you don't. Like, you know, whatever. It's kind of rough. Then Mobius Quiver, I would say slightly better because at least you have the potential to get maybe 2 kills with it. Because the Tether will actually kill somebody on a hit, because I don't think that Shadow Shot, or I'm sorry, Deadfall, I think is what it's called now. I don't think that Deadfall kills if it hits a Guardian when you shoot them with it. I could be wrong, and I know it used to, but for some reason I don't think it does right now anymore. But anyways, yeah, it's terrible. Okay, it's not a good super in PvP at all. And I know a lot of people say, well, it's a PvE super, but every other super in the game that I can think of has utility in both game modes. You know, Thunder Crash, Fist of Havoc, Burning Maul, Hammer of Soul, Nova Warp, Nova Bomb, you know, Gathering Storm, Arc Staff, there you go. Arc Staff, like all of them have like viability in PvE and PvP, not Tether though. Like Tether's, like, outside of maybe potentially shutting down another super, maybe, you know, shutting down another super before you die, it's really weak. You can't activate it like in a group of enemies because the enemies can just turn and kill you, you know. Like, yes, like the tether grabs your focus. You know, if you're shooting somebody and you get hit with a tether, not hit directly, but you get, I guess, tethered by Deadfall, you know, your aim immediately switches to the Deadfall. But like on M&K, you can just flick back over. It's not really that difficult. And of course, when you have 3 or 4 enemies, you know, and you want to make a play with it, you can't do so because they can kill you and just destroy your tether. Now, I'm not saying that, you know, it's a great idea to use Deadfall in that way, you know, just go in and shoot it at a group of like 3, 4, 5, hell, the whole team. You know, I'm not saying that's a great way of using it, but even against 2 players, like even using it against 2 players, it feels weak. Now, the next thing, it's not an aggressive super, and I do realize that. Like, it's not something you should just be running in and using, you know, in a way that's like, you just guns blazing, you know, run in there, like, I'm gonna kill them all. I know that it's not meant to be used for that. It should be used as almost like an anti super or an anti-personnel situation. You know, the Deadfall, you can stick it to the floor, the ceiling, the wall, whatever, and it will stay there for a good duration before it, you know, explodes, or until somebody triggers it, of course. But it's still like, it feels like there's too much, I want to say like RNG behind it, you know. The only use I've got out of it, and unfortunately, like I said, I can't post any footage of it here, is I stuck Tether above a doorway and somebody in super came running in there and they got tethered by it. Like, yes, like that's a great way, but, or a great use of, you know, of the tether. The problem is that to predict somebody's movements can be very, very difficult at times in Destiny. Okay, and Deadfall, to be used effectively, has to be used predictively. And when you use it predictively, it doesn't always pan out. Okay, and you get 1, maybe 2 supers in any given game. Okay, if it's trials, you get 1 super. Of course, in trials, it's a little bit strong because it's, you know, 3v whatever. You can put it on the zone, something like that. But 6s, it's not all that strong. So how can we make Deadfall better in 6v6 content without making it just absolutely busted? Like, again, I'm not saying it should be the level of ad clear that, like, you know, something else, or sorry, not ad clear, of Guardian killing that other exotics are, but it needs to have more viability. And I think the first thing that I would do is start off with speeding up Deadfall's animation. Deadfall's animation, it takes forever. You jump up in the air. When you activate it, you stop in the air. Like you like almost completely stop moving. Like you move technically very slowly if you have momentum, but you like do this whole animation where you like pull it back and then you let it rip. And then you're still stuck up in the air for a second before you can fall or use Trapper's Ambush to go back down. I think that this should be sped up. I think that with Deadfall, maybe not Mobius Quiver, but with Deadfall at least, it should be really quick like that. Okay, like think about something like Nova Bomb. Nova Bomb isn't like, it isn't instant, but it is a lot faster. Like the chances of you killing somebody who throws a Nova Bomb at you before they can actually and kill them before the Nova Bomb hits you is not really great. Okay, with Deadfall, I've literally sat in the Crucible and I've used weapons to shoot somebody down with Deadfall before their arrow makes contact with me or hits near me. Okay, so like it just, I think that the animation needs to be sped up. I also think that's because it is like more of, I guess, a supportive super style, you should have more damage resistance. I think that the damage resistance is currently like 40%, which isn't a lot. Personally, I don't see for Deadfall why it isn't like 80%. Again, it's not a Nova Bomb. Like you can't chuck it and get like 6 kills like in one shot. Like you have to stick it somewhere. Maybe you get a kill if you stick it. Again, like I said, I don't remember if you can kill somebody or not with a direct hit. But let's say you can. You stick it, you get 1 kill, then everybody else is tethered. Like it's not the same. Okay, so give it high damage resistance, give it a faster activation time. And I think that it would be in a much better situation. Now, I think that there are also some other really unique like interactions you can do to make it a little bit cooler. One of which is including a suppression field that when you fire it, it's got basically, you know, it's in its area of effect, right? When it travels, everything in its area of effect is tethered or is suppressed for like 5 seconds, right? So as the arrow goes, if an enemy is underneath it, is, you know, like 5 meters underneath it, for example, it will connect a tether to them and it will take them out of, you know, super or prevent them from using blah, 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 whatever, and just have basically a suppression field all around it. And I think that this would be a really neat feature because you could see, again, more use out of it. You know, if you shoot it at somebody who's in super and you miss them, you still can potentially, you know, suppress them and get them out of it. Because you are trading a super for a super, and you're not even trading a like super kill for a super. You're trading this, you know, your whole super to take somebody else out of super. When if you're using, you know, like I said, Nova Bomb, you're trading your whole super to take somebody out of super and kill them. Deadfall not the same, because I know for a fact that Deadfall will not one-shot kill supers if you hit them directly with it, which is unfortunate. But that, you know, that's just my ideas. This is somewhat of a rant video because as I have been using a lot of Deadfall in the Crucible lately, I have noticed its shortcomings. And yes, I have tried using it in, like I said, the way of preemptively activating it. Okay, like we're going to stick it on this point just in case somebody with a super comes in, and it doesn't pan out because players are too, you know, too unpredictable. But yeah, that's it for this video. Please help it out, Bungie. Make it just a little bit better in Crucible. Not even Mobius Quiver, just Deadfall. Just Deadfall. And yeah, that's it for me. Of course, let me know your thoughts on this. Like, do you use Deadfall in the Crucible channel? Probably not. I mean, honestly, if you're going to use Void Hunter, you might as well use Spectral Blades because it's better in basically every single way. But if you do use it, tell me how you use it to success, because I cannot find, you know, constant success. Like every now and then, you know, I'll get, okay, like, hey, like, you know, I stuck it to a wall, tethered somebody in super, it's a feels good moment, but that's few and far between. That's rare. Like, tell me what you think, you know, how you use it, if you use it effectively, regularly in the Crucible, blah, blah, blah. Of course, if you like the video, please like it. It does help the channel out a lot, and subscribe for more daily Destiny content because we make videos talking about random stuff like this all the time. But guys, that's it for me, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.